I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If Sweatwork's what ideally, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes.
All right, my friends, here we are. And, ooh, wrong window. Wrong window, fool. Get rid of that. Bam. Okay. So, we are going to input a game. I was with L Black Bases. And actually, you know what? I'm going to show this window first. I bet it's all messed up. Yeah, let's start with this window first. And I'm going to enter this dude's name, that kind of lame-o stuff that you got to do at the beginning. So this kid was named Yang Daniel. I got to find his ELO, actually. Daniel Yang. Chess. Born in 2011, so 14 years old. And how come it doesn't tell me? Okay. So this kid is basically 2198. I'm going to round that to 2200. And he is candidate master. Black is the chump GM. Let's give him 2380. I'll give him a chump GM title. And this was a draw. And oh, I've got this date all wrong every time. But it was July or August. Let's put it at August 24th. And this was the DC International. Okay, and this was around 3. Okay, so my Twitch, there we go. And this is also working well. What will we do in game analysis? Janon says. Jay says I'm a great player. Well, thank you very much. Okay, so let's get into it. D4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, b6. All right, so we need to make a little statementado. Actually, we also want to do the time control. So it's going to be 0130 with a 30-second delay. Increment, I mean. And, right. So now we're going to say, I avoided the Ragozin as I saw he played bishop d2 systems. Not a reason to take a crazy gamble like you here did. Exclamation point. So b6, g3, bishop a6, queen c2, c5, and I guess we're just going to give it a flat out question mark. I give this a flat out question mark. Okay, so this is my old move that I guess we can say the comp has basically refuted. It's hard for me to believe. Okay. And here the kid has fully prepped everything out. Definitely a worst case scenario. Okay, so here we go. D5. ED, CD. And just to put a cherry on it, the kid has not spent any time. I play G6. I have also not spent any time. Okay, now he goes H4. Computer chess fully. Even if a human wanted to play H4, they'd play knight C3 first. And I guess we got to give it an exclam, even though it's a computer move. Okay, bishop G7, H5, castles. In my prep for this game, that's amazing. I saw that the comp gave this as best for black. Though basically toast. Okay. Okay, so castles, H5, HG 130. Knight C3, 0129. D6, bishop H6. Okay. So still playing very quickly. All right. I was encouraged by this move. From a human perspective, it seems like a mistake. And indeed, in my human analysis, I've yet to find an advantage for white from here. But the kid said this was all prep, and I have no reason to doubt him. Okay, so here we go. Bishop H6. Bishop takes. Rook takes. King G7. Rook H4. Even this played at speed. In post-mortem, he said this was still prep. I tried in my own analysis to make this work, but bishop c8 seems fine for black. All right, here, say counterplay. Rook h4. Rook h8. Rook takes. Queen takes. And on rook takes, he's got 129. Queen takes. And on rook h8, I have 130, dude. Look at this. Oh, yeah. So we look at the, oh, I'm blundering a little bit. I'm sorry. I should be showing the full board, but I was doing this. You could see we both have terrible time management ratings. All right, I go to the game review tablet here. So here we go. Queen takes h8. Castles. And now 0, 129. And now I blow it. Knight bd7. It's almost a double question mark. So 0, 126. And we're gonna give it a play too fast mark. Okay, and we're gonna say guilty of, well, this has to be the move. Okay, so Queen h6, check. Transposing to the game. Knight bd7, bishop g2, queen h6, king b1, question mark. 0, 1, 17. An amazing miss and gift. E3, and it's plus minus. G5, Queen F5. I'm toast. So, Queen H6, unbelievable. King B1, now we're back in the game. And G5. Oh, and I have Queen H6 here. 123. King B1, and now G5, 0, 123. White missed or underestimated this resource. It's my only idea. Okay. Actually, on Queen H6, just to show the point, here if he plays E3, and Bishop F1, I don't know, I'm say black's even better. But there would have been no Bishop F1 if he had played E3 on move 18. Okay, so your camera's on top of the shared window, so sometimes the annotation are hidden. But Alvin, it's fixed now, right? That was before, right? I did screw it up before. I think now it's fixed, right? I've changed the scene. Okay, so G5, King A1. I don't know, we'll put interesting move on it. And he's thinking forever. 0106. So we're going to say, first of all, he's thinking forever, and this is played too slowly. I wasn't sure what white should do, but it didn't, this didn't seem right. As the king will owe me a tempo to come back in the game. Thank you, Tanner. Yeah, it was rough to do, and honestly, I don't want to talk about it too much, but ever since the news broke, it's been hard for me to even do a stream. Like yesterday, I was going to do a stream. I was like, no, this is all meaningless, dude. This is just too meaningless. So I'm just trying to move on. Trying to move on, man. It's been very interesting. The world's reaction to, like, even reading the YouTube comments to our video, just people that didn't know the guy at all, bawling like children, very surprising, interesting, telling, I guess. Okay, King A1. My sense is that, like me, the kid was searching forever for a way to find the advantage that the comp obviously sees. And this is an ambitious attempt to prove that advantage. Okay. Where's my pen, Bose? Just had an idea for a vid. Okay. I guess I would call this maybe something like the justification mistake. I don't have a great name for it yet, but it's a mistake where you feel like you have an advantage, and then you start doing weird stuff to prove said advantage. Okay. So, king a1. And now I get a little freaky here with rook e8. So I'm going to give it actually a funky move mark. And I'm going to, first we're going to mark how much I spent on it. And I spent too long on this one for sure. So, too slowly. Fundamentally weird move as it's not clear that the rook belongs here, and it is clear that the q belongs on g6. Okay, my friends, I am going to take a quick break, but first I'm going to read Dr. Pop. Talkins says, yeah, thank you, Dr. Pop. Lower rated players are much nicer to themselves than higher rated players in their annotation. maybe it's true. Rogue says, balling like men. Yeah. I am homeless says, struggle to see what king a1 is prophylactic for. He doesn't want to trade queens. That's what he doesn't want to do. And yes, you could consider some kind of thing with e4, but even then, ultimately, you're going to have to pay me some kind of, something to deal with your e4 pawn and the pressure on the king on b1. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back.
Welcome to the dojo. Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the club is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Geisy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin. Who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend. Yeah.
All right. So. My sense is that I didn't want to deal with Queen QA4. Okay, so here I have 3 options. One practical approach could have been to say, well, Queen G6 is natural, and one of those moves must work. Bye, rogues. Thank you for being here. Okay. We actually have an interesting suggestion. Are there ideas with B5 here? Maybe, honestly. Maybe. So I don't like it. I want to play Queen G6, but let's actually consider B5 for a moment, Tito. Let's consider this for a moment, Tito. I want to admit I didn't, we'll say suggestion from, let's give him credit, Jay Anand. Anand in chat. Mostly didn't consider in game or analysis because my pieces aren't developed. But maybe. Okay, B5. It's a very simple approach here. All right, let's try this. Rook H1, Queen G6, Queen D2. Let's play B4. This seems fine actually for black, because if I go knight D1 and we gain the knight E4 square, I think we're just doing great. So I'm going to call that at least better for black, so we're not going to worry about that. I feel like Queen D3 is a very weird move. It's a very weird move, but maybe. Okay, what about knight E4? So if Queen G6, he has this. This looks a little rough, honestly. Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Let's say delete from here. So 94. Now black really we still owe this move. I guess you're going to have to take it, right? You got to take it. If I get this, it's not just the pawn, but I get this. So we're going to take it. Now, here's our problemitos. We'll check with the computer later, by the way, but to me, I'm going to say this is clearly better for white. So, looks bad. And I am homeless on Wi-Fi. I'm homeless on Wi-Fi. Says, also suggests 94. Good. It looks bad to me too. But it's true that we should look at b5. It's the move that we'd like to play, and it's why I play this weird rook e8 to deal with queen a4. So let's look now again at queen g6, queen a4. Now I've got, what are my three options? Bishop b7. Queen a4, knight b8, and I thought I had a third one on queen a4 too. Maybe there isn't a third one. I think that's it, buddy. Oh, why did you say 3? Oh, I thought I said 3. Where's my notebook here? I should be getting my notebook out anyway. I don't understand it, but it says bishop d3 here, which makes 0 sense. So I don't think that makes any sense. So we also then have to say, I have 2 options here, not 3. So let's get into it. Knight b8 seems wrong to me. Let's actually give it an interesting move, Mark. Weird, but playable. But a thought as it's hard to now prevent an eventual b5. But also bishop b7, knight b5. And we'll say else a6, knight d5. Is that real, buddy? You really believe in knight d5 there? But we're tending a6. So I think it's scary, but looks fine for black. We'll check it with the computer later. All right. So also then, we got queen d2. Was perhaps white's intention just based on what happens in the game. I looked at that later. Queen d2, knight h7. e4, intending knight e1, f4. But I just play b5, and I have good counterplay. Okay, so rook e8. And now, dude plays rook h1. Oh, and he spent an enormous amount of time on rook h1. So that's way too long. Rook h1. Queen g6 is forced. So 0107. And now he plays queen d2. Queen a4, knight b8 was the intention behind rook e8. Okay, so rook h1, boom, boom. And now I blundered with knight e4. And I guess it's a double question mark because it ultimately should have lost me the game. So first of all, queen d2. Dude's got 36 minutes left. I play knight e4, and I spent 10 minutes there. So an ambitious move that meets with a surprising refutation. Okay. Was the other option, and I obviously was opposed to it as it looks passive. But white must now prove something as b5 is coming. Okay. So, also we want to just mention, if knight g4, he has knight g5, knight f2, rook f1, and it is crispy critters. All right. So I think e4 is our main move. And if knight df6, then knight e1, and if g4 looks strong at first. He unfortunately plays f4 exclam. And then this is just toast. Toast. Okay. So, tell you what, Jesse, before you declare it toast, let's just look at this for half a second. So I'm allowing queen h6. I don't want to do it, dude. I don't want to do it. No, I mean queen h6, bro. I really don't want to do this. Maybe. I dismissed this in my analysis, but maybe. Crunchy's asking what happens if the knight jumps in. He gets mated, man. He gets mated if the knight jumps in. And on any knight move except knight d2, I'm playing queen e1. And on knight d2, I just have queen g6. And if a3, I'm assuming queen g6 as well. How about a different knight in, though? Maybe knight g... No, knight g5, I take queen g6. Maybe knight h4 looks evil, doesn't it? Here? Queen e5 looks forced. Bishop h3. Looks scary. Now, the main point, though, is knight h7, e4. We don't have to get crazy. b5. Let's promote it. And we'll say counterplay, and we'll say easy chess. Right. So it's not clear to me what the best plan for white is after knight h7. I.e., I think I'm better in this position. Or rather, I would rather be black because I don't know what white is doing in this position. There might be something firm, but I don't know what it is. So people are asking about the engine. We will look with the engine later. The point is first to look at it without the engine. The engine, by the way, let me just give you a hint. Out of the opening, the engine basically thinks I'm lost. And I didn't like the move bishop h6, but the kid told me afterwards that was the engine move. I do not see any advantage for white after bishop h6. I can't find it, but it probably is there. I don't doubt him. Okay, knight e4. He's going to find an amazing move here, my friends. Okay, so here we go. Knight e4, 57. And now the kid took. Rook takes. And now knight h4 double exclam. 21. A very I believe I might have sensed the danger if I had said he gets a rook and pawn for 2 pieces, and maybe that's not a great situation. Then I might have looked deeper. I was sitting there, by the way, and I did not see this at all. And when it came, it was like, what? Even after he played it, I was like, what? Is this for real? All right, I played rook e2 after muchos minutes of thought. And I offered a draw. He didn't take it, though. Okay, so GH. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Rook takes. No, excuse me, not wait. Queen G5. This was the move. So Rook H4, Queen G6. Was the only position I looked at when playing knight e4. Queen G5, exclam. Queen G6, Queen H4, and there it is, I'm done. I am done, and it is not very fun. Yeah. Missed this move. It's an easy move to miss, too, a little in between cruncher. Okay, so rook e2. They say chess is about calculation. Okay, so here we go. Queen takes. Bishop takes. Knight takes. King takes. I'm going to say white is winning. Okay, so we'll also say FG, rook E1 is easy. Rook E7. So King G6. And now rook E1. He's got 20 minutes left. Here's another thing. I'm going to describe a situation, okay? And if someone in chat could help me name it, it would be very helpful. I want to do a video on this scenario, let's call it. So you've just exerted a ton of energy, and like imagine white, he's found knight h4, he had to calculate all this stuff, he's getting low on the clock. You've spent all this time and energy, and you feel now that the position is winning, which it is. It's definitely winning. And then you let yourself relax a little bit because your mind can't take it anymore. And from a psychology point of view, there's even studies on this where after you've exerted a lot of mental energy, there's like a glutamate buildup in your head. Now, honestly, I don't know what the hell glutamate is, dude. I'm just parroting what these people say. But what they describe I've definitely felt, and that is you've reached a point where your mind can't do it anymore. And so then their mind is going to be like, just make a move, just make some impulsive move. And so that's the scenario that I'd like to name. I don't I don't know, the crash out or something. It would be great to have a cool name for that scenario, because naming it would allow people to understand it, be like, oh, that's that thing, you know. Okay. Oh, I spilled. I dribbled myself like an old man. Okay. So, after exerting so much time and energy, White now plays this quickly, and while it's definitely still winning, he slowly lets me back in the game. Don't mental zugzwang, decision fatigue. That's absolutely it, Mo. That's absolutely, we are totally describing it right. But I feel like it's not, the word decision fatigue doesn't quite capture it yet for me. Maybe that's what I'll end up going with, but it doesn't capture it for me yet. Okay, so we're going to say, actually, I wanted to, don't have a word yet to describe this phenomenon. It's definitely happened to me, with the player with the advantage. Okay. So, I think rook h8 is just much simpler. And it's just over. I'm just going to come collect my coconuts. Intending b3, intending rook here, intending here. So rook e1 it doesn't ruin it. Rook e1 doesn't ruin it, but it's kind of like the beginning of making it a little weird. Should be 5. I got 50 left. Choice overload. But it's not the choice that's overloaded, it's your brain that's overloaded. Okay, bishop b5. Rook e8, 16. Here he is taking too long on an obvious move. And what we want to say is, in general, White became too obsessed, clear in the post-mortem, with my potential counterplay against his king side pawns. Not trusting the power of his rook. Cognitive overload is definitely, that's actually the technical term. Like if you look it up, they're going to say something like cognitive overload. And maybe that's as good as we got. But it's not a chess term. That would be cool if we could turn it into a chess term. because it's such a common chess phenomenon. Again, maybe there is no great word, but that's just what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Rook e8, g4. So, all right. Rook a8, a5. And rook a8, he's got 14 minutes. a5's forced, I think. 37. Now he plays b3. He needs to be making these intuitive moves faster. Okay, b3. King f6. 32. Rook a7. Still fine. King e7. I really didn't want to put my king on the back rank, but didn't see another way. Bishop e4 is still fine. He's got 5 minutes left though. And that's just too long at this point. He's not play too slowly. King d8. I got 28 minutes left. And now bishop f5, which we're going to say is maybe wrong. Or I think I'm going to go ahead and say that one's wrong. Bishop f5, he's got 4 left. And what we're going to say is White now tries to force things before it instead of improving his king. Okay, so we're gonna say king b2. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't deserve an exclam, but king b2 is plus minus. Okay, so bishop f5, knight e5, 29. And king b2, and we're just going to say the obvious point. I don't know how obvious it is, but rook b7, bishop e2, rook takes question mark, king c7. And maybe he's not lost, but that's not what he wanted. Okay, so king b2. I played bishop e2. Right, king b2, he's got 3 minutes left. I played bishop e2 and I got 23. King c3. And we'll say boom, boom, 0-2. Überforderung, yeah? Yeah, Überforderung. Like that could be, the English word for that would be overworked, I feel. This makes things easy for me. Maybe king c2. I don't know, but it's we'll say here, it's no longer simple for white. And now I'm going to give myself an exclam. I played b5. 19. Now I should be fine. All right, so here we go. Rook a5, b4, king d2, bishop f3, a3. I don't know what he's supposed to do. Pawn takes. Rook a3, bishop d5. Am I equal? I think so. It's not easy for him anyway. King c3, king e7, b4, king f6. I got 20 minutes left. Bishop c2. He's got one. Pawn takes, king takes. Knight c6, king c3, king e5. Okay, 4, and here he offered me a draw. Okay, and I said, I don't know, I don't got nothing. All right, so that's our business right there. We are now going to take a look at the database and the computer in a couple key positions. But first, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hack, and
Mouse.
he got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM, blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chap. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 all accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 data.
All right, so let's look here. This position. We'll see how many players have played. Oh, and you know what I have to do? I'm gonna have to go like this, just so that we can see it. We're gonna see how many players have done this crazy H4 thing. Oh, and this is the dojo database. Interestingly, you got a game from mine right there, but we want to look at the Masters database. And H4, like this is what I said, like Knight C3, it doesn't really matter if you're going to play H4, you can play Knight C3. But H4 has never been played, dude. Oh, look at that, dude. It's technically a novelty. All right, but we are going to get back into normal chess, I think, after Knight C3. No? How about after D6? No? So, no games found. Look at that. Okay. All right, so the first question I have, wait a second. I just want to look then at, so knight. Look at that, because it's just so human to play bishop g2, right? Knight c3, bishop g7, and now you only have one game with h4, with this massive computer move. And let's actually write it down. Only one game in the DB with this massive AI move. All right, so let's go turn it on now. And we'll go bang. We can, Jay, but you should tell me when you want to play b5. So there it is, by the way. I knew that knight c3 and h4 had to be basically the same. And it's so weird not to play knight c3 first, but okay. So h4. The first thing I'm actually going to do is find where it is that the computer is smashing me. All right, let's look. So there you're seeing his bishop h6 move. Is this giving it? Let's just give it a second. Oh no, he played knight c3 first. So yes, still AI. And we have your, I played d6, which is top move, but this b5, I was thinking about that actually. I was like, maybe b5 could have thrown him for a loop. So even though you see b5 and d6 are relatively the same, b5 might be the harder move to play against. Like b5, knight g5, that's not intuitive for anybody. Okay, we're going to put this in here. Crazy Joe, thank you for following. b5 is the engine's second choice, and I was thinking that it might be harder to meet. Okay, so d6. Right, I just want to see like this kid, man. a4 wouldn't really scare me. Bishop h6 is a4. There it is, bishop h6. Top engine move. All right, so here we go. I took top move. Look at that. Rook h might not matter. Rook h4. Now I played rook h8. Look at that. It's giving this as the top line, dude. Wow. So there you see Jayanand. It's saying b5, g4. I mean, that would be a hell of a move to find b5, g4. I thought rook h8 was a given. All right. So now, snip, snap, castles. And I blundered with knight bd7. I thought it was a full blunder. Okay. So now, queen h6. And we're just going to let AI sit for a second because I want to see what the what it wants here. It's interesting, actually. It's not giving more than plus 1, you know. It's basically saying my position is still playable. King b1, knight bd7. Bishop G2, G5, King A1, Rook E8. Oh my God, basically transposing to the game. Hold on. King B1. Wow. Look at this. Shit. Wow. So AI says white is better, but looks like a playable position to me. Okay, the very simple point, Jay Anand, is, and this is where I screw up in the game, because I played, after castles, I played knight bd7. If he plays e3, I take on f1, and I solve all my problems. After I take on f1, he's not even threatening bishop g2, rook h1 anymore. And so that's why I had to play queen h6 here. Okay, so amazing. So here we go. Knight d7. Mistake. Bishop g2. Check. e3. Yeah, it wants me to sack the queen on h1. So we'll say I looked at this in the analysis and thought I was lost. Correct. Okay. So okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to game review because people can't see. The game review is just a template I have, but people can't see the whole situation when I'm running it like this. So I'm going to go back to this one. Just you can kind of, yeah, wait a second. What's going on here? There we go. Now you can see everything in this view. Yeah, you can still see it. You don't need to see the other view. Okay, so king b1, definitely a mistake. g5 exclam. I thought I was okay, by the way. The computer is still saying +1. Okay, king a1, it's also giving as a fine move. And we should say AI doesn't mind this move. Says +0.8. Or actually, I should change it now to +0.7. All right, rook e8. We're going to say AI likes this move best, LOL. Now, I don't know if that means I still would play queen g6. So queen g6, queen d2. Actually, let's just get the full knight h7, e4. And I said b5. And AI says bishop h3 exclam. That's a nice move, actually. That's a very nice move. Missed this powerful idea. Excellent. So why? G4, knight H4, and your host. If he gets bishop F5, you are host. Oh, in fact, it's kind of hard to stop that move, dude. Oh, yeah. Amazing. No one saw that, dude. He didn't see that either. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is bad. Wow. Okay, so that's why I am still fundamentally poor, and that's why it likes rook e8. Okay, so now, here we go. Rook h1, queen g6, queen d2, and now I needed to play knight h7. Uh-oh. However, on the knight e4 move, it's not, oh my God, it's saying knight e4, queen e4. I wouldn't consider that in my life. So let's look at knight h7. Again, I'd rather be black here, even if the computer says it doesn't like it. So knight h7, e4. And Jayanon was asking about b5 in a variety of circumstances. I thought b5 would solve black's problems, but he's got this bishop h3 idea. AI. Plus minus, dude. So simple. So simple and strong. Bishop h3. You're done. You're done. Wow. Okay, timeout. So, knight h7, e4, and then AI is knight df6. All right, I was looking at knight e1. It says equal. I guess I agree. Queen c2, b5. Look at this mess, dude. Looks like a mess to me. Okay. All right. So, knight e4. All right, here we go. Knight takes. So there it sees it. I don't want to play queen e4. I'm not even going to include that as a variation. So rook e4, knight h4, double x. It's the only move too. Look at that. So if you don't find knight h4, then I'm doing great. So I thought I was doing great. All right, knight h4, double exclam. What a move. It says I'm toast. Yep. Snip, snop, snook, snark. All right, so it likes rook h8 a little better. Bishop b5, rook e8, g4. It still says I'm totally toast. Huh. Okay, so we need to say AI says I'm wrecked here. Well, maybe I am. Maybe I am. I don't know. Notice though that he's not right. But he's not giving concrete moves. Okay, so does A3 blow it? Still says nothing. Still says nothing for me. B4, okay. Still likes his position. Uh-huh. Huh. Okay. Wow. So AI still says 0.824 white. And then I guess this is maybe not the best. I almost played on. I was like, maybe I should play. Well, the computer's like F5 equal. Yeah. I didn't see how I was going to actually win it, though, even if it says it's equal. Okay. Amazing. So, we're going to do a couple things here. I'm going to go eat breakfast, but before I do, I am going to log this. Ooh, please save this. Please save this. Save and publish. And we're going to say then that I did a bit of 80 minutes of training today. So I go, training plan, buddy. Oh, it's broken. I am getting the broken. Okay. It is not. It's not doing nothing. Let's try it now. There you go. So annotate a classical game. Update progress. We're gonna say 1:20, and we're gonna say update, and also we're gonna go into training plan. I also did a post-mortem with this dude. So bang. And I say about 45 minutes with this guy. Oh, not 45 hours. Thank you. 45 minutes. And I go update. So that brings me to a total of 5 hours out of 15 for this week. We'll see if I make it. Maybe not. And so then, my good friends, we're going to raid somebody. Who are we going to raid? Oh, let's go. First of all, a better... let's go grad show. And we also really want actually to... Here's our game. Here is the picture of the time graph. There we go. Actually, did I put in my final time here? When I don't think I logged it. So where's knight c6? Here I've got 18 minutes left. And on king f6, I had 20. So let's see if that changes anything. Not really. It gives me bad marks. Look at that amazing time graph, though. That's what a prep to madness position looks like with a time drop going on there. Okay, beautiful. Now we're going to raid somebody. Who is Martin Chess something or other? I don't know how to find him. Witty Alien, he's easier. Edosani, Galactic Spider. There's all kinds of people here. Let's raid somebody we've never heard before. We're gonna raid. No, we'll raid Witty Alien. Witty Alien. Oh, I thought Witty Alien. Maybe he did quit chess. I don't know. I don't know anything about Witty Alien, honestly. I'm gonna try to be back soonish to do the next round that I've already analyzed. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.